Hola Pushers, it's your girl Candace Nicole, where we're here to push the glow, gain lessons of wisdom. I wanted to dive in and talk about friends leaving you for a relationship, or they're just acting different when they get in a relationship. I've been there plenty of times. Let's first start talking about when a friend just distanced themselves because they're in a relationship. You should have a balance. You know, you should still have your self-identity, and I get it. You're all in love when that new partner comes around, or you want to spend quality time, but just having that separation not only creates balance within your relationship, but also just growing within yourself as an individual. And so if you're finding yourself in a position where your friend is distancing themselves because of that relationship, it's probably a time to have that conversation, or whether they are contacting you less. You know, you guys would talk all the time before the relationship, and now it's just here and there. And if you value that friendship, you just want to honor yourself and that connection by having that honest conversation. And I also want to dive in to talk about when a friend only comes around when it's convenient for them in that relationship, meaning their partner is unavailable. So now they're like, girl, let's do, or guy, let's do girls' night out, you know, let's go to the movies. Those are signs that should indicate that a conversation needs to be had. Because one thing you don't want to do is let the feelings fester, and then you have unresolved feelings that goes and creates chaos in the dynamic of the friendship. And you can have feelings just bottled up and your emotions bottled up if you don't get what you're feeling inside out. So just having a conversation, set some time apart from that relationship and say, hey friend, I miss you. Do you mind if we can set some time in your schedule so we can connect and bring back, you know, where we once were? It's okay to do that. And in those moments where you're feeling as if it's just starting to be a repetitive cycle, it could be a point in time where you just may have to just cut that friendship off. It's okay. Everybody needs a break so that person can reflect and create their, you know, and connect to their errors, and they can see it. I've had a friend, and I'll go into my story time. We were super close. We both wasn't from the same city that we were living in. And so that's what made us connected. And we did everything together, and it was just like we were our own family. And it was great. And then she met someone. And I'm all excited and can't wait to hear about them. But there was red flags that was indicators to this may not have been a great option to invest in. And for example, things started to come up, long story short, that he had other women in his life that he was dealing with. And those women lived in different cities. And so I had a conversation with my friend, and I said, how does that make you feel? Do you feel as if you're being shared, that you're a priority? And as time went on, she made excuses for it. And when she would express herself, because I think a part of her understood what I was coming from, but also she was battling with the perks that he was bringing to the relationship because he was in the media industry. So he had a lot of perks that came with it, free concert tickets, free shows, and things of that sort. So she was battling with, what made her feel fulfilled when those events didn't take place. So she had to sit with that. And as she expressed herself to him, eventually there started to be distance between me and her. I did not hear from her as much. And when I would reach out, it would just be short. The disconnection was there. And just being a supportive friend, I just let it take its course. Over time, I happened to be eating out with another friend, and I see the guy with a whole completely different female. So, being a loyal friend that I am, I'm like, whatever I'm feeling inside, I just want to honor my friendship and to let her know what I was seeing. And so I called her, and she knew exactly who the female was, and that took me by surprise. She described her, and she was like, does she have this type of hairstyle and blah, blah, blah? And I was like, yeah. And she said, oh, see, that's a girl that he basically, she caught him basically with that girl before. So she had a hunch to who she was. And so it blew up in their relationship. And the kicker part of it is that he left her and the other girls that he was dealing with for that chick as a whole. And so at the end of it, she wanted to reconcile with me. And I had to sit and make a decision for myself to reflect on the whole scenario, that that wasn't the type of friendship that I deserved to be placed at low value. And if it was a real friendship, it should have never got to a place to where I had to question my place in her life. So I decided to just completely let bygones be bygones with that relationship. Sometimes people get so wrapped up in their relationship due to unresolved issues within themselves, and they can find themselves getting in a place of being controlled or getting in a place of just losing themselves because of the lack of love within. So don't place value on yourself due to a friendship. And whatever is happy and healthy for you, don't be afraid to protect that. Don't be afraid to put yourself first and fill up your own cup. Fill up your own cup with your own self-love. Therefore, you can have a healthy balance within yourself and in the connections that you create. So I hope that advice or that story that I shared helps whoever needs it to push them through in those times where you may feel alone or feel like someone's pushing you away. Just remember to love yourself first, so therefore you can create your own happiness and don't have to place that on someone else. So I hope that helps, and let's dive into an oracle card to see what additional messages that we can get. And if that's not your thing, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. But if so, let's stick around and see what we get. All right. This card reads, acceptance. There is nothing about you that you need to fix. Reclaim the disnown parts of you that yearn for love and acceptance. You are beautiful just as you are, regardless of any faults you may perceive you have. Accept all that you are and just be it. When you truly accept yourself, your whole world will magically and lovingly transform. So that resonates back to what I was just saying of don't place your value on a connection. Embrace who you are. Know that you are good enough. And if someone doesn't see you as a priority, it's okay to disconnect yourself, because it's not only you're going to honor yourself, but also it's going to open doors for more healthier relationships to come to you. And I hope that helps for someone who ever needed to hear that message. Take care, guys.